What's up, guys? This is Austin from The Normal Investor here, and I just woke up. My last video was 2 days ago. We're going to review some things and see where my stocks are looking now. And to be honest, guys, it has not been a pretty last day, and this morning is not looking any different. There is blood in the streets. So first things first, let's look at the SPY, which is the ETF of the S&P 500. We talked 2 days ago about how we were trading in this channel right here, and that if we break, we were at all-time highs, and I was saying if we break the trend line of these two, we could be very well going higher, which we did. We held and we broke it, and yesterday early morning we hit that 423, and then it just dropped off a cliff. As you can see here, it was not pretty. We broke the channel here, and then we broke a past high here, and ever since then it is just getting bull trap, and this morning it is just, as I said, jumping off a cliff. What I'm hoping to see today is, as you can see right here, the past low of 411.67 on the 5-day 5 minutes. Hopefully we will hold that. As you can see, it's moving down as I speak. RSI is currently very oversold, so hopefully the bulls can maybe get some momentum there. And if you go to the 180-day chart, let me move my face, but the RSI, we were talking about how overbought it was. Now look at it. It is actually oversold. And one other good thing, which could be a negative if it breaks, but we're right at the 180-day moving average, and it looks like we're close to breaking it, which could be a very bearish symbol. Let's hope that doesn't happen, but it very well could bounce off of it. Alright guys, now for the QQQ, which, as I said in last video, is a ETF that tracks the NASDAQ. What can I say? Same thing as the SPY. There's blood in the streets. It tanked yesterday, and now pre-market this morning it is tanking again. As I was talking to y'all 2 days ago, we were trading in this channel right here, where we hit our highs for the last couple of days, and we were kind of bouncing off. We tried to hold right here, and then when we didn't hold, as I said, we were going to drop. We tried to hold this resistance right here a little bit. It couldn't hold it. We tried to hold here. We couldn't hold it. And I'm looking at the next one that we're going to attempt to hold, guys. And I would say it's right around that 316-ish level. How I would play it is, if you're looking to get into some tech stocks on this, I would wait until we start maybe reversing above this 320 level. Or I'd wait till we get around 316 and see if we hold and get a bounce off that. Again, it's very oversold on the RSI, more than the S&P, and we could see a lot of these tech stocks continue to sell off today. I hope not, but we very well could. All right, guys, and before we look at the stocks I recommended, first things first, that is why we always look at the QQQ and we look at the SPY, which is, as I said, ETFs of the S&P and the NASDAQ. Before you get into any stock, it's crucial to look at what the overall market's doing, because no matter if your stock is great, bullish, looking perfect for a setup, if the whole market's tanking, it's not going to hold those supports. And this is why we look for that in a choppy market, because if it was choppy, everything was going up and down, most of the time stocks that are at past support levels that are very strong will hold. But since the market's just tanking and breaking tons of resistances, they just cannot hold. So before getting into any trade any day, you want to look at what the S&P 500 is doing, is what the NASDAQ is doing. All right, guys, first one, Twitter. We tried to hold this long-term trend line that has several lows on it, but we ended up breaking it, and we are just falling off along with the rest of the market. Personally, I'm not extremely bullish on Twitter, so I did not take any position yesterday, and I'm not going to today. Where I could see this going down is to around the 45 level, where we have this low right here. Maybe we'll see a little bit of a relief rally over today or tomorrow. just considering how oversold we are. But I do see us eventually going to this point, considering it breaking this long-term lows, or maybe we make a little bit of a lower high and we continue, but I think we get down to 45 because I just don't see a ton of news going out for Twitter with all the bans and stuff going on. So personally, I'm taking this off of what I'm watching because it did not hold the support I was looking for. But if you're bullish on Twitter, you might want to look. But personally, I would wait until around 45. Next stock, guys, we got ARK, which is arguably my most bullish stock right now and what I'm looking to load up the most. And that is because it is an ETF and it has a lot of growth stocks that are beat down inside of it. And honestly, guys, with how the market's looking right now, I rather put a lot of my money in an ETF that spreads my money out between a bunch of stocks than just say, let's throw it all into Tesla or something like that, even though ARK has a lot of Tesla in it. I think it's a good way of diversifying your money in this time. Honestly, as I said last video, Cathie Woods, I trust her a ton. I think she's brilliant. And just looking at it now, we broke the 2 levels that I was talking about in the last video. As you can see, I'll zoom in a little bit. We did bounce between those for a while and bounced off of it, but it ultimately couldn't hold and we're heading lower. The next place I could see where I would be looking to buy, I did actually leverage in around right at that second level, 106. I bought a couple shares. I'm looking to buy a couple shares if we get probably right around here, which is going to be, let's see, around that 94.24 level. I'd probably be looking to buy some at 95 just for some psychological reasonings. But look at that. As I said, right now with where the market's at, I think ARK, K, or any of the ARK funds that are beaten down right now are probably good places to park your money. But I wouldn't park it until we see that SPY and that NASDAQ start continuing to make a reversal, or we hit this next low. Don't just buy in because it keeps dropping. Buy in at past lows or past highs that have held. So that's where I'm feeling ARK. Yes, I did buy some. I do regret it a little bit today, but hey, we're going to average in. All right, guys, and for my next one, I got BYD, which it held a little bit better than the other ones yesterday, but it did actually fall below that long-term low I was telling you about. And honestly, guys, I'm pretty scared for BYD. If we continue downtrending as a market, in my opinion, there is no really low after this. So this thing could go anywhere at this point. This is a 180-day chart. We have nothing really to base off of. And if the next one, if you go to the 3-year, you really don't want to look at it if you're a BYD investor because it is quite low, around in the 70s or so, which I normally don't look that far out. But going back to the 180 days, personally, I'm not putting any money into BYD until it reclaims that 105 level. Now we got our favorite Chinese company, BABA. And man, it took a dive like everything else. What can I say? We broke the resistance of this fallen wedge. And the good news is, if I was going to trade today out of all the stocks I picked, I would probably say this is the best one, because we do have a low we can base off of that's pretty clear, and it's this 211.23. And at pre-market, we're right at it at 212.18. It looks like it's trying to go up a little bit. It's 213 now, but we're still very oversold. So this one still might be worth picking up, but if we drop below that 211, we're probably going to see very low 200s. Hopefully not, and that's surprising because earnings is coming up, but the whole stock market is just tanking. So I'm looking to be averaging in, and this is one I'm looking to pick up. And poor RKT, guys, this poor thing has just been beat down along with most everything else, to be honest. But look at it. We hit a low of 1645 of the 180-day chart, and there's nothing on that really to base off. I had to go all the way back to the year and 1 day chart, and our next place I think we're going is around that very low 16s, and we're close to it. So I'm not touching RKT until we get into the Low 1639, as you can see, was our, well, you can't see because my head's in the way, you can now, but was the year low, and we could see that again because this stock is still very heavily shorted, and the hedges and people who are shorting this want their money. So I think we go a little bit lower, because honestly, with this stock, even on good days, it's been going down. But when this thing does reverse, it's going to reverse in a big way. Last of my picks from last video, we have Fubo, which we broke the wedge I was talking about. And looking at the chart, the next support I see is around 1376. We're at around 1455 now. So I think we see this thing approach that later on today. But as everything else, we're very oversold. But I wouldn't be looking to pick it up until we hit that next low. So be patient and wait for another good deal. Now, guys, I'm going to get a couple other stocks I see some potential in right now. And the first one, which is a safer play if you're trying to be careful with your money as the market is just a falling knife right now, would be Apple. We tanked yesterday, and I see our next level being about 122, and we're at 123 currently. But this would be a safe place, as many of you know, to park your money. Apple's a very trusted company, and it makes a ton of money. So yes, this in a down market, this could go lower, but this is probably one of your best stocks that if the market's tanking, that you'd want to put your money into, because it's not going to move quite as much as everything else. Now, guys, we got good old DraftKings. DKNG, what this is, it's a sports betting website, and if you don't know, that's becoming more popular and more states are starting to get behind this. And we have just dropped off a cliff, and there's been two reasons. One has been the market's dropping, and two, we have earnings. And the earnings weren't bad, but people after earnings just sell. They're looking for that pre-market run-up, or they're looking for just amazing out the ballpark numbers on earnings, and if it doesn't happen, they just sell, and what you see is a lot of stocks after earning tend to just drop. So with this one, I'm looking at $40 to be our next support. One, for a psychological level, and two, we've had a couple of past highs and past lows. But be looking out for this one, because I think this is a great long-term hold. And as a lot of these sports open back up and stuff, you could see this. Take off. Next stock that I'm pretty excited about would be Riot. What this is a Bitcoin mining company. And as you can see, it's been beat down off the high of $84, and we're all the way at 25.5. And Bitcoin's still at pretty decent highs. It's just not breaking that 60,000 that we need it to do. Right now, what I'm looking at, we've tanked these last 2 days, pretty ugly. But I had a support here that we did not hold, and we're right at this 25 level, and it looks like we're attempting to hold that. As you can see right here, there's a little bit of back and forth. I think this would be a good place to pick it up. Personally, in my opinion, this thing's beat down, and all it takes is Bitcoin to break that 60,000, which I think when I looked this morning, it's around 55. But if you're a firm believer in Bitcoin, when this thing jumps and Bitcoin moves up, this is going to take off, but we just need that 60,000 price to break on Bitcoin. So if you think that's going to happen, this is a great place to park your money. Last but not least, guys, is good old NEO. This has been a favorite stock of mine for a long time, but this poor thing has been just beat down lately. We hit a high at 66.99. And then the growth sector started dropping, and the fears of Chinese stocks started happening, and this thing has just taken a massive beat down. Right now, I never thought I'd say this, but we're at 31.27, and I personally think we're going to approach that $30 level. I'm thinking we hold at $30 unless the market just continues to be a falling knife. But as that psychological level, that $30 is most likely going to hold. If it doesn't, our next support is around the 29 area. But if we hit 30, guys, personally, I'm looking to load up because I'm a believer in NEO in the long term, and I don't think these EV companies are going anywhere, especially the Chinese ones that are backed by the Chinese government. So keep your eyes out on this one. I'm personally looking to hold up on 30 because I think that's an amazing deal. I would have bought in the 50s, which I did buy in the 50s. And let's see where this thing goes. Alright guys, and that is it for my video. Please like and subscribe if you enjoyed it, and comment down below if you have any stocks I should check out. And guys, don't panic. The market is tanking, yes, but right now you should be celebrating because there's a ton of great deals out there. And I know a lot of you, especially me, the average investors, we don't just have millions on the sideline to continue average into these stocks. So just be patient. Take what you can out of your checks and out of what you're making it work. And just slowly buy into these things because it will make a difference in the long term. And this is just temporary. The market, if you look at it long term, always goes up. But just don't panic sell and don't beat yourself down too much. If you need a day off, take a day off of it. But I know like sometimes I can't look at it for a day, and you might have to do that as well. But look at these stocks as they're on sale at Walmart. That's how I look at it, and a lot of them are great deals. So with all that said, y'all have a great one. Stay positive out there, and I'll catch y'all in the next video.